What we're going to go over today in this video are the rules for multiplying and dividing positive and negative numbers. These rules are used throughout math. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of how I use it in my class right here at the very beginning, but the rules are pretty simple. If the signs are the same and you're multiplying or dividing these numbers, your answer is going to be positive. If the signs are different, your answer is going to be negative. So it's just as simple as saying, hey, a negative times a negative is a positive. Or a negative times a positive is a negative. If the signs are the same and you multiply or divide them, your answer is going to be positive. If the signs are different and you multiply or divide them, your answer is going to be negative. So let's look at some examples of using this rule. Here's an example of when you would actually use this rule. If you see two signs beside each other, you're going to multiply those two signs together and make it into one sign. And you're going to use these rules that we just went over. Here's a situation where I've got negative 12 minus a negative 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these two signs together right here and make it one sign. My rule says if the signs are the same and I multiply them together, my answer is positive. So this is like saying a negative times a negative, and that's a positive. So anytime there are two signs beside each other, multiply it together and make it one sign. It's going to simplify the problem. It's going to make it easier to deal with later on. It doesn't matter if it looks like this. A lot of times programs and teachers will put it just the two signs beside each other. Make sure you multiply it together and make it one sign. Or you can look at examples like this. This is still two signs beside each other. I've got a positive and a negative sign beside each other. To make this problem simpler, I am going to multiply those two signs together. And once I multiply, there will no longer be parentheses in this problem. Go back to my rules. Remember, if the signs are different and I multiply them together, my answer is going to be negative. So a positive times a negative is a negative 8 right there. This is much simpler to deal with than this with all those parentheses in it. And we're simply using these rules right here. And we'll use these rules over and over and over for a lot of different problems.